Three riddles that you want to dwell into to explore the dark side of humankind. Hi, this is Amar, and you're listening to Entertainment Cube. Hey, welcome to episode 11 of Entertainment Cube podcast. And I've got something special for you. This is the first time I'm going to do multiple different things. So, first off, this is going to be a part of a trilogy or a three-part series that I am doing for reviewing Teen Paheliyan, or as the question I raised earlier, three riddles. Teen Paheliyan is a trilogy short film series that's created by Sujoy Ghosh, that's produced by him. Most of them are co-written by him, and one of the short film is directed by him. So I'm having a three-part series of this podcast to review those short films, and I'll tell you in a short while the reason for doing it in three parts. The other thing that I'm going to do differently here, so far, I have been sharing my views with you about any movie, or I would say rather a short film, web series, or music videos, stand up, and it's something which is holistic. Now, considering that the three movies that I'm going to be reviewing, or the short film that I'm going to be reviewing, are suspense thrillers, and there is a twist at the end of each one of them, I want you to enjoy it in a complete sense. So, if you're someone who wouldn't want to know the spoiler or what happens towards the end, I'm going to give first part as the spoiler free review or my point of view about the short film. But at the same time, these movies got me to think and come or probably have so many questions. So, in the spoiler part, and I would announce it so that you can stop listening to it, I am going to probably ask you what is your thought about some of the things that I observed. And do you have that answer about the human behavior or the humankind? So, yeah, with that, let's jump into the first movie that we have. So, Sujoy Ghosh, let me start with that. Sujoy Ghosh is someone who I really like, especially from the short films domain. He has some good films to his credit. Kahani is one of my favorite ones by Sujoy Ghosh. The short film that I'm going to be reviewing, and one of the very close podcast episode post I complete this three-part series, is Ahalya. And that's something that came out almost 2 years ago, but it still is something that's my favorite short film. Another short film that Sujoy Ghosh came with last year was Anukul, and I'm going to tell a little more about it in this three-part series. Okay, so Sujoy Ghosh, in that sense, has established. He, in collaboration with Star Plus, has come up with this concept of three short films. One of the interesting thing about this is Star had earlier collaborated with good directors or filmmakers to create Star Classics, which is 1 hour concept for short films, and it worked really well. There are some really nice ones by K.K. Menon and others. So I would try and find the links, or if they are available, and we'll share it with you. But yeah, this one is an experiment where they tried having three Riddles or Teen Paheliyan, as the title suggests, about the whole human behavior. That's the common thread, as I would say. It's the dark side of humankind, or you can explore it as we go through it. And it's going to basically take you through that journey of how we explore it. Okay, so that's about the overall concept. All three are different. The cast and crew is, in that sense, the cast, I would say, is different in that. So, with that, let me start with the first movie or a short film that I would like to review. That's called Mirchi Malini. Okay, it has Paoli Dam in the lead role. She is acting as Mirchi Malini. Paoli, you may remember from the first movie in the successful franchise now called Hate Story. She acted in the first installment of that, and she has many successful Bengali films to her credit. She acts as the gastrologist in the short film. Now, first, when I had the word, I thought someone who does the astrology based on gas. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for a bad PJ. I'm really sorry about that. So it's combining gastronomy with astrology. So she is an astrologer who just tastes of food prepared by you, and she can tell you about your past and future. A unique premise, right? And you would feel that it would have some very interesting opportunities in terms of the story development. The way the short film starts is she's sitting, there is a husband and wife who come in and say, we are having a problem in our married life. We've tried multiple things, and someone told us to meet you, and you can help us with that. And her clear response is, I'm not a counseling person, but I can tell you what's in store for you. So clearly, yeah, that's something all of us as humans go to astrologers for, to know our future. And she tastes the gajar ka halwa that's prepared by the lady and tells her in the past that she cheated on her husband, and that kind of increases the rift or basically breaks that relationship. And obviously, you would have the standard dramatic sequence where the lady says that this ability of yours is going to cause a problem in your life. Cut to the next scene where they show 2 years later. And we don't know what's happening in the 2 years. And clearly, the lady is preparing for a mega event for meeting people, calling that, okay, Mirchi Malini is back. So we get it that probably she went off radar and she picks and chooses 4 women to meet her. The interesting characteristics about each of these are, you have Tara Alicia Berry. She's someone who has acted in movie like Love Games and on the web series like Love, Lust and Confusion, which is currently running on View. She is young, innocent, bubbly housewife. So clearly that's evident from her character. The next one you have is Neha Chauhan, someone who acted in LSD movie. She's someone who has shown as mature, disbelieving in astrology, yet inquisitive. She is working at a cafe. The third person is Rukhsar, someone who we know acting in multiple Hindi films. She's acted in Sarkar. Her debut was Yaad Rakhegi Dunya back in 1992. And her role in this short film is of that of a flop film star who is in desperate search or need of publicity, and that what kind of draws her to come to Mirchi Malini's place for that invite and kind of explore what's happening. At least that will give us some publicity. The next one is Shraddha Das. She acted in Great Grand Masti and a series of films from down south, and she is shown as a reporter who is indifferent to this entire thing and reluctant to attend where her manager tells her to cover this story. So that's about the characters. The male character, the only male character, I would say, there are other supporting characters, but the main male character is played by Akshay Oberoi, someone we saw in the test case as Nimrit Kaur's friend. You also might have seen him in Lal Rang and Gurgaon, in case you caught that movies. So clearly, this is the movie where they take a lot of time in establishing these characters, excluding Mirchi Malini. So there is a bit of correct establishment for the four female leads that I spoke about before they get invited. They come in, and then clearly Mirchi Malini tastes their food. Some interesting aspects, the way while we are trying different perfumes to break the clear sense from one to the other, we smell coffee beans. So she, moving from one food to the other, tastes or eats mirchi, green chili, and hence the name Mirchi Malini. Another interesting concept that's shown is someone who does not cook but comes in. How can you give something when the person has to predict the future? So, instant recipe is given in terms of the curd, and different spices are given, and the person is asked to add the spices to the curd, and accordingly, the future will be predicted. Okay, so in the end, they show the twist as to why these four ladies were invited, and specifically what was the purpose. Why did Mirchi Malini went off radar, and what happened? So that's the overall theme of this movie: how astrology can become a curse, and what would you do when you find out that something is wrong in your life, what support you should be taking, what actions you should be taking. This movie, according to me, is the weakest one amongst the three movies. So let me know what are your thoughts. How did you find this movie? And you can stop this if you don't want any spoilers for this movie. I've warned you, spoiler alert ahead. Okay, so if you're still listening, the clear thing that happens towards the end is she puts in poison for the food, the kheer that she's created for all these ladies, and kills them because they were having affairs with her husband. Things which are loose ended, does not tie up, is clearly how the husband was having the relationship with everyone. The timeline is not clear. The other question that arises is how she went unnoticed for killing her husband, because the post-mortem would say everything. What is she wanting to achieve by killing these ladies? And why does she do that by inviting and publicizing heavily so that she is kind of caught on that? Also, it's about the human nature. Why did she take 2 years to kind of settle that revenge that she wanted to take? So, if you have answers to these questions, please post your comments. Thank you for listening in. And next episode is going to be for the film that I found to be the best one in the trilogy. So once again, thank you for listening. Share, subscribe, comment. Really appreciate your support.